So, as we're hearing in the news bulletin with Rosie, the Irish Foreign Minister Simon Coveney holding talks with Northern Ireland Secretary Chris Heaton-Harris this morning at Hillsborough Castle.
The meeting focused on rebuilding a partnership between the two governments.
Let's go to our GBNews Northern Ireland reporter Dougie Beattie, who's outside Hillsborough Castle. A lot on the agenda there, Dougie.
Very much so, and it was a very managed press conference. Only certain members of the media were told of it. Only certain members of the media were allowed to ask questions in it. They are really looking at putting pressure here on the DUP. It is their first outing together, and the DUP are not very happy at it, nor are many other unionists. They are saying, and I quote a statement that was sent to me just after the press conference, "We want the Northern Ireland Assembly restored. The government needs to get on with the protocol bill. The longer it is delayed, they are only delaying a solution to the protocol problems. They should expedite it." Well, that's not the line that Chris Heaton-Harris seems to be travelling with them. They have said quite clearly there will be elections by the 28th of October. The DUP have said that they were wanting that bill, the protocol bill, you will remember that, put through, and that would actually unlock the Northern Ireland Assembly and bring back the institutions. This morning might actually put a bit more pressure where it shouldn't be. Simon Coveney saying that there could be some other way around it rather than the protocol being fixed. He answered one of the other journalists there that there would be no fixing of the protocol by the end of October. So all of this is putting pressure on the Northern Ireland public during a time when we have a cost of living crisis. But it must be said that the cost of living crisis is really being solved or addressed in Westminster, not in regional assemblies. So when he left here just a few moments ago, I managed to get a word with the TUV leader, who's saying that basically they are not against going back into the Northern Ireland Assembly. What they don't want is the Northern Ireland Executive up and running. So there might be a bit of landing room there, you never know where it's going, but not a good go for Simon Coveney and Chris Heaton-Harris, especially I alluded to this back in February, that it was almost saying that there would be some sort of stewardship here. If you read into what they're saying that they could have some sort of joint authority. And of course, I referred to that back in February when we would go back to, from the Good Friday Agreement, we would go back to the All-Ireland Agreement that was in place. But they're both saying they're going to try and pick up the Good Friday Agreement. But of course, the Good Friday Agreement only happened because of one statement that was made by the British and Irish government. And it said, and both of them had to sign it, that the British and Irish government said that they had no selfish financial or strategic interest in Northern Ireland. In other words, they were both neutral brokers in this. That is now not the case because Europe wants the single market protected, and of course that gives a strategic interest inside Northern Ireland.